stay tuned. This may be a multiplayer game built for everyone, but these will be your deniable operations. And now, I'll turn it over to Tony to talk about what we mean when we say signature combat.
Thanks, Matt. Now, a lot has changed for us since the first Black Ops game, from our development pipelines to totally new technologies. But some things haven't changed. And after over a decade of making Black Ops games, we're more inspired than ever to keep honing in on that authentic, classic Black Ops feel, all while taking it to new heights. Now we know that to you, combat is more than just pointing and shooting. It's about how your operator moves and weaves through your surroundings. It's feeling the power of your weapon, how it reacts in your hands. It's the sound of bullets storming past you, the rattle and bang of firing your weapon. In Cold War, we're back to plausible, authentic, boots-on-the-ground combat. And that has allowed us to not only refine the feel of the game, but build on all the classic foundations of Black Ops. Heads-up gameplay, automated healing, and grounded movement. Keeping your player experience in the front of our minds has also inspired a fresh wave of thinking across our Creative Class and Score Streak system, where we're introducing features that bring unprecedented transparency to your planning and cinematic wow moments to when you're playing. Now, innovating systems while still capturing that signature Black Ops super smooth feel is a notoriously tricky thing to get just right, and we put everything we have into it for each game. This is an absolute team effort, so I brought some of my friends from the combat team to help tell you about our initiatives for this game and how they've resulted in signature combat that feels just right. Here's Max Porter to start us off.
We've taken lessons learned from across Black Ops and the entire Call of Duty franchise to land on a truly best-in-class weapon experience. The gun is almost always right in front of you and must look great. From a gun's seams down to its grime, the level of detail in Black Ops Cold War has never been higher. But our weapons also need to move in a realistic manner. You'll feel it in this game, whether you're clocking from long range or firing from the hip. When we think about a gun, we think about the way it looks, the way it's going to move, but a big part of a gun's personality is the sound that it makes. It's like the bark of a dog. We're sort of imagining all these guns as characters. That just adds to that level of realism and that sort of immersive quality that is unique to Call of Duty. It's this multifaceted approach to how weapons look, animate, and sound that together defines the feel of Cold War's signature gunfighting experience. Here's Alvin with a debrief on some of the other combat systems waiting for you in Cold War.
Let's talk about two of the most significant and impactful features of multiplayer: Create a Class and Score Streaks. Our goal with Create a Class in Cold War is to empower you without making trade-offs. This year, better starts
back on that Ford grind.
Create a Class will be a slot-based
Are you enjoying
system,
it?
no longer governed by allocations or the pick 10
Or more so
system.
just playing because like
You'll
everything else
always boast
booty.
a full class of a primary, secondary, lethal, tactical, field upgrade, and a set of perks. Field upgrades are items placed in the world to give your team an advantage. You can earn them solely based on time, not score. And they are the only type of game content that works on a cooldown that lasts after death. Now, wild cards are back. In this system, in every class, you can pick one of 4 wild cards that let you do things like load your primary weapon with up to 8 attachments, carry up to 6 perks, double the number of lethals and tacticals you have, or carry 3 primary perks from any mix of categories.
Some of these things sound
Of course,
OP.
a key component of Create a Class is the gunsmith.
They bringing a gunsmith to
In Black Ops
multiplayer
Cold
too.
War, there are more optics and attachments to unlock and configure than ever before. Every
Jesus.
primary weapon can be customized with 54 attachments across 8 different nodes or attachment points.
Oh, 8 different.
With at
Okay, I was
least
about to say.
6 options per attach point. By default, you can equip 5 attachments or 8 with the Gunfighter wildcard. For the first time, Gunsmith will show you what equipping an attachment does as a positive or negative percentage. You can now build backwards, speccing out the perfect gun for results you want to see in the field. This takes the guesswork out of the system and helps us on our never-ending quest to make the most balanced Call of Duty game you've ever played.
8 attachments on a gun, bro.
There's one more thing I need to talk about. First up, we've updated score streaks so that earned score is kept through death. This change gives all players a chance to engage with score streaks.
No,
One of the most visceral and fun experiences across multiplayer signature content. If you do go on a streak and string together multiple kills before your own death, streak score bonuses help you earn into those higher powered score streak tiers. To prevent score streak spam, each score streak will go on a cooldown after it's used to pace out frequency. So, what score streaks are we talking about? Well, your favorites are back, but we've also got a few surprises. Score streaks in Cold War can be used in all the classic ways.
I mean, everybody in the lobby about to have a chopper gun at one point.
To break up the pace of the game with a fun new experience.
Why even call it a score streak anymore if you don't lose it when you die?
Score streaks can often be neutralized with a counter score streak. Now I'll pass it over to Sunny to share more about our operators and how they move.
But you know what? Don't take face value on it.
Elites, covert,
I think
powerful.
doing that
when you play as a Cold War operator, you won't just
is a combat at camping.
Every movement
It's a combat at camping.
To increase the fidelity and feel of even the smallest elements, modelers, animators,
because why do people try to stay alive so hard, sit in a certain area so hard? It's because they want to get their kill streak. They want to rank the streak up, to score a streak, by making it available no matter what. Kind of makes everybody just run around and gun because they're not worried about losing that kill streak, losing that score streak.
Your entire operator will move more naturally.
So I'm actually super interested to see how that plays out. That could get rid of the camping out of God.
The first is sprint takeoff. This is the feature that gives your operator a running start. You start with a little sprint and then it slows down to normal speed. This lets you feel the momentum of like where you're going and where you're going to end up. We wanted to preserve the fluidity and fun of an operator's ability to slide. In Black Ops Cold War, when you slide, you start and end in a crouch position in a believable way. This allows two-player movement states to function better as one, all while improving gameplay and enhancing pace.
Just want to do it with non-kill them, no invite. Let's go.
Go faster and you'll make more noise.
So you're just in super
still have
low.
Ninja as a perk, but Ninja is no longer the only way to keep quiet. Whether or not you're crouched, how loud you get is now directly tied to how fast you're moving. Lastly, we've incorporated a classic jump with a much more natural height, which will very briefly slow you down on landing. Our goal in all of these movement mechanics is to ensure operators' actions are not just authentic, but intuitive. When you press a button or a key, you should always feel in control of your operator, and this system has been built to translate your decisions into dynamic movement more seamlessly than ever. The era of the game might be the 80s, but the characters you play will move and shoot like the world's most highly skilled operators.
Signature combat. It isn't just how a gun is shot, it's how that gun feels, how it sounds, how it's designed to create a combat experience. And combat isn't just about conflict.
Not gonna lie,
It's also
looks promising.
movement. So the fluid ways in which your operators shift around the AO.
It looks promising. Not gonna lie. Are you still here? Will. Oh, there we go. Let's get it. They talking about Warzone? God dang it, I got off at the wrong time, Among Us stream, Prosper. Among Us. We need to be 10 deep for that, bro.